Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shy Guy Rocks 1998, but you can all just call me Matt. Welcome back to some more West of Loathing. I forget what the hell I did. Oh, I got some stuff plated over here.
Hello, Jimmy Gaming over here, and I'm one of his co-stars.
Alright, abandoned pickle factory. Those bandits hold up in here, and I suspect we've heard the last of them. What do you mean? Folks say this old pickle factory's haunted. Not just a little bit. Ooh, spooky.
Spooky. Also, hi, I'm here.
Gretchen Vlass, 1801 to 1879. She was very, very terrible. Alright, let me just, let's see here. Trying to frickin'... There we go. You feel a sudden electrical jolt as your hand touches the doorknob. Ouch! Oh no! You're late for your shift! Mrs. Vlass is gonna be so mad! She might literally bite your head off! Okay, well not literally, probably. Quick, get suited up. You clock in and hurriedly put on your bright green coveralls. Mrs. Vlass, as predicted, is furious. Late again? You better stop taking this job for granted. You think you're gonna find a place with a nice dormitory and a reasonably priced company store like ours somewhere else? With your skills? Ha! You're doing 3 shifts today, Buster. Get to work. You're on pickle hopper duty. Pickle hopper duty runs you ragged, like always. Keeping the hoppers filled to keep a constant flow down the chutes means you're constantly at a near sprint, because you have to manage the cube chunks to keep the levels equal. If you get uneven pickle levels, Mrs. Vlass knows. Nobody knows how she knows, but she knows. A whack from her cane is the minimum you'll get. Damn it! At the end of the first 6-hour shift, you get a brief break. You cram a stale cheese sandwich in your mouth while Mrs. Vlass glares at her pocket watch, counting down 3 minutes to the second. Break's over! Second shift! You! Get over to the salt tank! Now! Oh god.
Jeez.
Managing the salt tank isn't as strenuous... Managing the salt tank isn't as strenuous as the pickle hoppers, but it's still a never-ending tension. The brine concentration has to be constantly monitored, and kept at a very specific measurement, which means constant adjustments. Meanwhile, you can feel yourself desiccating from the haze of salt dust that fills the room. If anything in this place kills ya, it's probably gonna be salt tank duty. White lung is nasty business. Cough on your own time, and get that salinity back to normal. It's supposed to be 976 parts per thousand. How hard is that to remember? 976, idiot! Please let me out of here. You get another 180-second break before third shift. You spend most of it drinking water. The company doesn't charge for water, but you've heard a rumor they're considering it. Break's over! Get to the boiler! Oh no, please let me out, please! Boiler duty means shoveling coal into a furnace that runs a giant tank of boiling vinegar. It stings in here. You've tried to work with your eyes closed, but Mrs. Vlass screams if you drop any coal on the floor, or if you let the temperature get too low, or too high, or just for no particular reason. At least you're used to the smell of boiling vinegar. In fact, you can't smell anything anymore. Let me out, please, let me out. 190 degrees, idiot! Not 189!
I'm back. I have to help Mom. Go back to Mom.
Not 191. What do you think we pay you for?
Oh, this shit.
You really don't miss
I
your
never got the puzzle for this one when I played it originally.
You don't really
miss.
miss...
You have to put out their misery. They're like the one ghost they kill.
You don't really miss your sense of smell, or not coughing all the time. You don't really want anything anymore, except to die. Let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out! With a gasp, you finally snap out of the horrible hallucination, or possession, or whatever the hell that was. Jeez, you can still feel the sting of vinegar vapor in your eyes.
I have no idea what the fuck you do here. I have no fucking idea.
Basically, he went to a haunted pickle factory and ended up getting, possessed.
No, I know that. I'm saying I don't know what to do here. I don't know what you do in the pickle factory. I have no fucking idea. I couldn't get those equal no matter how hard I tried.
15, 1, 17... Okay, here we go.
That was...
16,
I was unable to get...
16, 1, 16, and now... 11, 11, 11.
Oh, fuck.
Gotta. Can't sleep until it's right. You alright there, partner? Can't sleep. It's okay. I took care of the cucumbers. It's finally done. Thank you. The ghost smiles as he fades away. A few bones hit the ground below it.
I just killed these guys on the
Salt.
first run.
Salt. Gotta salt the salt. Salt. You alright there, partner? Salt!
I honestly don't get this. How do you understand this?
It's actually said in the frickin' thing.
The flashback.
Oh, I didn't do that.
Salt. Gotta salt the salt. Salt. The salt is correct. It's finally done. Thank you. It's not right. You alright there, partner?
The music is creepy, by the way.
All wrong. The temperature. It's not right. It's all wrong. Not right at all. Alright then. Do you... All wrong!
These ghosts have lost it.
2, 3, 4,
They're
5,
being
6,
pushed to
7,
their limits, that's why.
exactly 35 shovelfuls and pump. 190 degrees. It's finally done. Thank you. And finally, pull the lever. After a while, a load of pickles is deposited in the receptacle to the left of the switch. Huh. All that work for 3 pickles? No wonder this place went out of business.
This music is fucking creepy. Also, can I say I hate how this game automatically has you automatic leveling up whenever you make a new file? Like, why?
What do you mean?
Like, whenever I start a new file, it always puts automatic leveling on my ass when I don't want it to. I have to turn it off manually every time.
Oh, it's simple. Just turn it off.
That's annoying. I have to remember to do that whenever I make a new file.
Hey there, what's the good word? What in the world? It's the Gherkin brothers. And please, I don't want to talk about it. It was really weird. I believe you. Here's the reward. Huh. Looks like these things are still twitching. Better lock them up to be safe.
Oh, like, I killed them, so they weren't twitching for me. They were just dead.
There's the Gherkin brothers' cell. For managing to get all these guys alive, you get an achievement, which I already have, because I've wasted too much time on this game.
Yeah, Mr. Max had achievements.
Alright. Open up Steam. Oh, for fuck's sake.
What are you doing?
Finding my build!
God damn it.
There we go. Let me see here. Oh, wrong button. Here we are. Brown boots, then black boots or work boots. Okay. Rings, nasty ring, got that. Offhand, large plush cat. Okay, that's gotten later. Weapon, early, any sort of boost. And the lapel, the revolting brooch. Hat, prototype Stetson or turnip crown. Good for me. Shut up, PS5. I don't care. Just making sure I got things right is all, okay? Alright, next up.
It doesn't hurt to wander around to some degree, I'll say that. It doesn't hurt to wander around to some
degree. Get after it with your pickaxe. Stardust! Unfortunately, your pick melts from the heat of the meteor. Ugh, wannabes. Farm posers? Yeah, they're the worst. Hey, like, howdy. I'm selling herbal remedies. Care to buy? What kind of herbal remedies? The kind they're gifted to us by Gaia without any interference by human hands. So, weeds. That's a derogatory term created by the man, but yeah, basically.
You're useless.
Hey, groovy.
Hmm?
Thanks. Herbal remedy. Doesn't do anything. Howdy. Hey, yeah, howdy, man. What's happening? Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Oh, not much, man. We moved on to this little patch of land to grow crops. Then we decided it's more natural to just let Gaia grow whatever she wants, right? Bet that's a lot easier, too. Right on, man. Neat.
Guys, these fuckers are stoned.
Where'd you get that hat? Oh, this? Friend of mine made it, man. I forget which one. Well, you'll take for it. Well, I have been thinking of trying a new style, man. Maybe like one of those hats the army guys used to wear, like back in the day. Like, as kind of an ironic statement, man. There's no fort over yonder that-a-way. I'll swap you if you can find one of those, man. Okay, I'll check it out. Groovy, man. Howdy, I'm Matthew. I'm Louise. Louise Lathrop. Why the long face, Louise? Geez, basically because I'm stuck here farming with a couple of dummies who don't know how to farm a dang thing. So they just let the weeds grow and call it natural. I am so sick of eating dandelions. I could scream! How'd you get in this predicament? I headed west after graduating baking school and fell in with these two because they talked a big game about natural grains. Fool that I was, I didn't realize all they were really interested in was getting silly on loco weed and not doing any work. Why don't you leave? Haven't got any meat, or any other prospects, or anywhere to go, I mean. Dandelions are terrible, but they're better than eating dirt. This is such a mess. So you're looking for work. Gosh, yes, desperately. The only trade I know is baking, though. You know somewhere that's hiring a baker? Heck, even unpaid would be better than this if it comes with room and board. I just want to get out of here. I don't, sorry. Shucks. Well, if you hear anything, please let me know. Will do.
I tell you, I got to take back up with her.
This ranch will be useful later on, though.
What's so?
For the thing with dealing with the cows. Bang.
I feel like I missed something there.
You probably did. Whoa. Good gravy, when'd you ever see a thing like this? Never. Reckon we should do something about them? Worth looking around, at least. Oh. Well, I found something. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me.
By the way, you have bought a flower, right?
Hmm?
Have you bought a flower?
Yeah?
Okay, because that would actually be helpful for, like, certain areas, because you need, like, stench resistance, and that gives you that.
No way. Not without some stench resistance. Okay, fine. Oh, got an old patrol cap. A burned scroll. There's also an evil-looking leather-bound tome. I'm ignoring that. The scroll's in bad shape, and you can't really make out anything new, but you're convinced this must be another clue to the whereabouts of the necromancer. You stick the scroll in your journal. Found a cryptic note about Hell Cow energy. Necromancer's lair must be somewhere near a powerful source of it, but you don't know where such a source is.
Oh, I totally missed that note. I totally missed that.
And there's a pit here where you can fight a bunch of skeletal riflemen. Alright, I'm just gonna wander around a bit. Get myself some liquor. But I'm looking for a place. Not now, Wandering Sally.
Why not? She can give you the
Rescue mission! There we go.
The safe cracking thing on her. She could have that.
Yeah, errands run? Funny you should ask. I've been experimenting with the healing properties of a purple grass that grows near here. But I've run out. Would you mind picking some for me? Grows near a cave that makes an unusual humming sound. Oh sure, I think I know the place you mean. No problem, I'll be right back with it. Oh, excuse me, I gotta fight a Stankabove. There we go. Dang, you hear that? What is that? Like a high-pitched buzzing noise? No idea. Let's not stick around any longer than we got to. That noise will drive me spare. Yeah. There's the purple grass, but... what's in the cave? That snake isn't gonna let you pass without a struggle. You might be able to push this over. That'll keep that snake at bay. Wow, what is that thing? What in the world?
So fun. Aliens!
This looks dangerous. The monolith is dark. Got an item. Strange stone arrow. Boom 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 boom.
Spin.
Continuing to where I'm going for right now.
Fine.
Might want to buy that for later. The Professor's house.
That time.
Excuse me, my name's Matthew Rami. What? Oh, didn't notice you come in. I'm not used to visitors, but folks generally call me the Professor.
Because is Rami your actual last name?
Is there some... what?
Is Rami like your actual last name?
No.
Yeah.
That's just the name he uses for, online stuff.
Is there something I can do for you? Well, I found this bleeping gizmo. My dog is barking again. Who let her out? Try to ignore it. Try to ignore it. Well, I found this bleeping gizmo, and I sort of followed the bleeping, and it led me here. Well, I'll be. Certainly led you to the right place, young man. This is El Vibrato technology, and I happen to be as much an expert as anyone alive today. El what now? El Vibrato. They were an ancient race that lived here long before humans. Well, they mostly lived underground, so they might still be living, far as I know. Never seen a peep of an actual person, though, just the machines they left behind. Were they space aliens? Could be aliens, or genius pre-humans, or an entirely different terrestrial evolutionary line. At this stage of investigation, it's impossible to say. Isn't it exciting? Here, let me have a closer look at your bleeping gizmo. Aha! As I suspected, this is one of their transponders. It detects other El Vibrato technology and homes in, you see. That'll be why it led you here. I got a thing I've been trying to repair. He tinkers around with the transponder for a bit and then plugs a strange stone marble into a socket on it. There you go, good as new. Just swipe up or down to turn it on or off. Swipe. Now I gotta warn you, this device will lead you to abandon El Vibrato technology, but it might also attract unwanted attention. From what? From the El Vibrato technology. You'll see what I mean, just be careful. Okay. You know, now that I think about it, you've arrived at a perfect time. In order to get anywhere further with my research, I need more samples of El Vibrato tech. But searching for it eats up all the time I could be using to research it. Aha, I get you. Right, you're the adventuresome type, so bring me back whatever devices you find, and if I can get them up and running, that'll benefit both of us. Alright, deal. Great! First priority will be to get my keystone fabricator running. They lock their doors and things with these little stone alloy blocks, see? So if we can make our own, that'll open a lot of doors for us, literally and figuratively. Alright, what do we need? The components aren't rare, at least as far as priceless ancient technology goes. Bring me about 5 handfuls of scrap. Should be able to salvage the last parts I need from that much. Roger that. Do you know anything about ley lines? I don't hold much with that mystical mumbo-jumbo, it's very unscientific, but it does come up in my research from time to time, so I can give you a basic overview. He draws some curved, intersecting lines on a piece of paper, and explains how they relate to local geography and so-called mystical forces. Most of it goes over your head, but you think you got the basics. Alright, let me go ahead and use that.
Good to hear.
Stick it into my necromancer journal. A handful of possible locations based on the unseen currents of energy that riddle the land. Hooray! Now we can head to the Lost Dutch Oven Mine. Just as soon as I fight another fucking Stankabow. Susie has become stronger. Aw, dang, that is one hell of a stink coming from that mine. Yeah, I'm not happy about it either. You plan on going in there, or can we just leave? Got a miner's pants and a gas mask. Could've used this 5 minutes ago. I don't know what kind of tobacco these miners are chewing, but it must be extra corrosive because this brass spittoon... This brass spittoon has a hole eaten through the bottom and dark stains underneath it where the spit leaked out. Although oddly, it doesn't seem to be leaking now, and it's half full. Guess the miners plugged the hole with something.
You already know what I'm gonna say.
It's a spittoon!
Dig into it.
It's a spittoon. It's disgusting. You can practically see the stink lines coming off of it. Come on, let's not do this.
Expect it.
Too bad.
Jeez, fine, okay. Crouch down and take a careful look at the filthy spittoon. The inside is blackened with years' worth of stains. The death broth inside has a rainbow sheen like a parking lot oil spill, and occasionally a low bubble pops on the surface. You can actually feel a slight warmth radiating off of it from whatever dire chemical reaction has taken place in there. You realize you're holding your breath, not deliberately, but from the human body's natural instinct for self-preservation. Imagine someone made a big pot of chili con carne and left it under the porch. 3 rats crawl into the pot, eat half the chili, and then die. A week later, a family of cockroaches takes up residence among the writhing maggots. The cockroaches smoke thick black cigars which they light with tufts of burning human hair. That is what it smells like.
Who fucking cares? Let's keep digging.
Fortunately for you, the rainbow-colored film on the surface of the liquid coats your hand as you plunge into the toxic stew, keeping it from being immediately dissolved down to the bones. The smell intensifies, and your stomach prepares to hose the poisons off your arm with a high-pressure stream of vomit.
Ew. Keep going, though.
Your fingers touch something at the bottom of the spittoon. Better pull it out fast while you still have something to pull with. You pull the world's most disgusting pair of pants out of the spittoon, and jump back as the hole at the spittoon's bottom, now unplugged, begins to leak steaming filth. Congratulations! You are now the proud owner of the worst object I've ever been paid to think about, narrowly defeating a leather bondage harness made from the skin of a clown.
Glad we could work with this.
Damn. And I could you equip it.
Well, yeah, it's actually better than what I have.
It's so much better.
Ride down the elevator. You emerge from the elevator into a deeper shaft. By the light of your lantern, you see exposed meat veins on nearly every surface. It's unusual there would be this much readily available meat left in a working mine. What were they digging for, if not this?
I forgot.
Hey buddy, are you okay? Blah 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 Berto Gorto Glub. Uh-huh. Shovels dulled to uselessness. A broken pickaxe. Was one of the miners digging with his helmet? Ugh. Looks like a miner died trying to dig deeper with their hands. This gem is pretty, but it smells terrible. Effluvious emerald. The gouge marks are dark with blood. You start to feel very uneasy. Scratches are just painted on, in blood. The hair on the back of your neck stands up.
So much blood.
There's still some little bits of fingernail in these gouges. Your heart is pounding.
Ew.
The finger bones are all splintered. You have to get out of this pit right now.
No, you don't.
This guy seems to have gnawed off his own hands before he died. You have to get out of this pit right now.
Gross.
This guy worked his fingers to the bone digging and then worked his bones to the marrow. You have to get out of this pit right now.
No, you don't.
As you get near the rocks, the voices in your head begin screaming too loudly to ignore. You have to get out of this pit right now.
Why can't you access that?
This pile was pretty obviously made on purpose. Closer inspection reveals the stones are mortared together. What could be hidden in here? Talk the rocks into leaving. You are one smooth talker. Yes, I am. There's a trapezoidal piece missing from this weird crossbar thing. I don't know.
Missing. You're not going to go with immediately. The fuck?
A circus,
Oh,
but
you never got the triangle shit.
pew, pew,
You never got the
pew.
scrap, did you?
I'm just gonna keep wandering. You come across a goblin, marching around in the woods. They're taller than a typical goblin, probably because their boots are taller than typical goblin boots. In fact, these boots are so tall they must be half stuffed with socks to keep the tops from jamming the goblin in the groin. The goblin sees you and marches over, attempting to look intimidating instead of awkward. Hey! Hey, human! Hey! What you two doing in this place? This my ground to stomping! Do you mean your stomping grounds? What? Your boots, which are very tall, I am seeing. Yes, tall boots to having, so also tall am I. That's cool, but they are uncomfortable seeming, very. I too having no sensation in my feet now, so this is fine. Attack! Because I can't steal them.
Unfortunate.
Feel love your horse wagging more.
Yeah, I got his boots. And I got a guffin. Oh. Somehow machines can take poison damage. Oh, right. Wasn't... Coleridge Mine had something, I remember. Oh, right, the compass. I took the compass from there. My bad. There we are. That's where I was looking for. This knapsack seems like it's taken a lot of abuse recently. Most of the contents are trash from being stomped on. You do find a dented can of potted meat, though. You also notice the knapsack has a knife sheath strapped to the side, but you don't see the knife anywhere. This campfire has been thoroughly stomped on and kicked. Someone was real serious about fire safety. Looks like the cow's got another poor sap. No kidding, this place is a wreck. Well, I didn't know what the first thing said, but a more thorough inspection reveals dusty boot prints on the tattered canvas. Cows don't typically wear boots.
Interesting.
Yikes. You think maybe this used to be a person? There are cow tracks leading away from the mangled corpse. Probably wouldn't be hard to follow them. What a mess. Cows did this to a guy? I reckon so, judging from these tracks, but... What's wrong? Something about these tracks ain't quite right. What do you mean? They aren't spaced out right, and they're uneven. Okay, what does that mean? I'd say either the cow that made these tracks was drunk, or it wasn't a cow that made them. Go the opposite. Since you have reason to believe these tracks may be a fake, you could either follow them or head in the opposite direction.
Let's go the opposite direction.
You head in the opposite direction for about a half a mile and discover another campsite, this one occupied. You approach the camp cautiously and realize that the campers are rodeo clowns. Ugh. Well, that solves the mystery at least. Looks like there's 3 of them, unless there are more hiding. They don't seem particularly on their guard, so you could probably get the drop on them if you wanted to roll in ambush style. On the other hand, playing innocent might get you some information. Be careful. The enemy of your enemy is in a mighty fine position to put a knife in your back. Yeah, no kidding. A simple three-man tent. A simple three-man tent, which probably sleeps about 40 clowns.
Love it.
Howdy, stranger. Howdy. Nice knife. Thanks, it was a birthday present. Oh, was it your birthday recently? The clown grins at you. Not my birthday, no. Okay,
I didn't miss that.
You guys are a long way from the circus. You know about our circus? Yeah, Barnaby Bob's traveling circus something, right? Up north? Barnaby Bob's perfectly normal traveling circus sideshow. That's the one. It's way up north, though. What are you guys doing all the way down here? The clowns exchange glances. Camping? You can tell by the campfire. What I mean is, why you guys camping all the way down here? So far from home. Oh, well, we're on break. So we decided to take in the sights. What sights? This is the middle of nowhere. Nonsense! Check out those cactuses over there. And those mountains. And, well, all this sand. Plenty of things to see. Can you tell me a bit about your circus? Eh? Thought you said you'd been. No, I've seen the big painted canvas walls and all, but I haven't actually been inside. So sell me on it. Let's hear your pitch. Oh, gosh. You're kind of putting me on the spot here. I don't handle public relations type stuff. I do... He looks at the other clowns and they shrug back at him. Concessions? Concessions. Oh, come on. You work at the place, don't you? Give me the scoop. Well, it's a circus, you know. There's food and games and a freak show. All that good circus stuff you love. Go on, tell me more. Will you quit bugging me? Just go see it for yourself. You ashamed of it or something? Sounds like you don't want me to find out how crappy your circus is. Hey! All fits in one wagon, right? I bet the freak show is just a shaved baboon, and the lion tamer has to swap places with the guy wearing the lion costume after each show. I'll have you know it's the finest circus you'll ever see, you... The clown's expression tightens. Well, I didn't have enough hornswogglin, so...
You should grind that up.
What?
Grind it up, then come back to this.
Well, no, I can't. I can only ask about the circus once.
Wait, can't you just exit and come back? Because when I exit and come back, something just pop back up.
No, I'm not gonna do it. Do you know anything about that wrecked camp nearby? The clown with the meat chuckles quietly. Somebody's camp got wrecked? Oh, that's terrible. Whatever happened? Well, it looks like the work of cows, fuck. You know, now that you mention it, we did hear quite a ruckus coming from not too far away. A lot of, you know, mooing and so on. Right, boys? The other two clowns are not in agreement. You guys know a lot about cows, right? Why would you assume that? Just because we're clowns? Well, I'd figure it comes with the territory. It's been a good 20 years since a rodeo was an actual thing, you know? So why do you dress that way? Dress? Well, it's traditional after all. Isn't it inconvenient? How do you mean? Makeup and the baggy clothes and all. Wait, don't you take the costume off between shows? Well, you might say we're used to it. Taking it off would be more inconvenient, right, fellas? The other two clowns chuckle. Well, it must be hard to talk to people when they're all creeped out. Oh, do you think we're creepy? He leers at you, showing yellow teeth. In the flickering light of the campfire, they almost...
They're the demon vampires!
Demons!
Relax, partner. That's just the old stories getting you worked up. You mean the old stories about how demon cows and demon clowns war against each other in hell? And rodeo clowns dress like that because the rodeos were sort of like reenactments of those battles? You've done your homework! So what do you think? Are demon clowns real? Well, I guess maybe. Demon cows turned out to be real after all, so why not the clowns too? The clown smiles, but his eyes are hard. It's sensible to keep an open mind. But you know, stranger, if clowns did turn out to be real, this could be an awful awkward predicament you find yourself in right now, couldn't it? Awkward for you, clown? Oh, dearie dear. Well, now, you go and say things like that. You know we can't let you leave here alive, right, stranger? Bring it, freak show.
You were planning to kill these fuckers from the start, were you?
Yes. Behold, as I shoot you to death!
Oh, detective.
I murderized the clowns!
How sturdy is that fucking barrel?
A lot!
There we go.
Maybe you have so little dynamite.
Because I used it all on a different fight?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's one pack of demonic rodeo clowns that won't be troubling people anymore. Boy, you did not expect to be thinking that sentence today. You poke around their campsite for a bit, but don't find anything of value apart from the leader's knife and a ticket to the circus. Well, the harmonica maybe, but that clown had his lips all over it. Ugh.
Oh.
You also find a note in one of the lead clown's pockets. Ew. It seems to be orders to check out an abandoned tannery not far from Dirtwater. Probably a bad idea to let these guys wander around near town, so maybe you should investigate.
You really missed a bunch of shit, it seems. Motherfucker.
Circus! Looks like you found the circus those clowns were talking about. Ugh, circus. That's like a clown hive. Fortunately, it's...
But anyway, it's not a very big circus. There probably aren't very many clowns. Certainly not enough for an army or invasion force or anything. Still, since it turns out demonic clowns are a real thing, any one of them could be real trouble.
You walk
You
up
walk up as nonchalantly as possible, so the clowning. The ticket booth doesn't expect you to know his horrible secret.
Whistle innocently. Well now, this whole clown situation might be a speck bigger than what we thought. Kind of a lot of them, yeah. I ain't real enthused about going in there, but we probably better see what they're up to, yeah. Welcome to Barnaby Bob's Perfectly Normal Traveling Circus Sideshow, sir. How can I help you? I'd like to run away with the circus, please. Aren't you a little old for that? Sorry, we aren't hiring. Darn. I'd like to see the circus, please. Well, you came to the right place then. But if you want to get inside, you'll need a ticket. I just so happen to have one. The clown looks very surprised. What? How did you... Well, great. Good for you, sir. I'll just take that and stamp your hand for re-entry. Here we go. Enjoy the show. What about my partner? Partner's getting free. Thanks. You walk into the circus. Actually, I guess it's more of a carnival, but let's not split hairs. As nonchalantly as possible. There are a bunch of clowns around, working at the booths and so on. More clowns than customers, of which there don't seem to be more than a dozen or so. Which is good, in that it means the clowns can't disappear you as easily if they figure out what you know. But on the other hand, if things go wrong here, innocent bystanders might get caught in the crossfire. How about I hold down the fort here while you go scout around? Yeah, alright. Be careful now. I ain't like the prospect of them figuring out we know what they are. Now, that's an understatement.
Oh, the evil clown music.
What's the prize? Shoot from the hip. Yeah, that's about average. Not enough to win a prize, though. Sorry. You okay, kid? Did you lose your parents? I lost my lucky bottle cap! You haven't seen it, have you, sir? No, but I'll keep an eye out. What's it look like? It's shiny steel, and it's on a little chain. Okay, I'll let you know if I find it. I gotta up my moxie more. Howdy there, fella.
Your
Interesting.
hornswoggle? Not your hornswoggle?
My hornswoggling, yeah.
Okay.
Howdy there, fella. Interested in a toy balloon? How you make them float like that? Why, there's nothing to it. Heck, they all float down here.
Oh shit! Kill it!
Of course. What colors do you have? Well, just take a look. Red. They're all red. How much are they? For you, just 30 meat. I'll take one. Anything else I can do for you? Can you tell me more about your circus? Really, it's more of a carnival, but let's not split hairs. What'd you like to know? What are your traveling plans? Haven't decided yet. That's why we sit down somewhere a bit more rural. Keeps things relatively quiet while we scout around, get a lay of the land and all. Ho ho! Where'd you travel from? Was your previous stop interesting? Oh, northwest-ish. There's a little hole-in-the-ground kind of place. You wouldn't have heard of it. Ho ho! Why is everyone working here a clown? Oh, it's traditional. When the, what'd you call them, rodeos stopped being put on, the rodeo clowns took other jobs at the circuses and carnivals. Oh, fuck my throat. Over the years, it just became the normal thing for carnies to be clowns. It's a community, you might say. Ha ha! Who's this Barnaby Bob guy? Oh, Boss is a real famous showman. Though I'm not surprised you wouldn't have heard of him around here. Ha ha! Got an eye like a hawk and he's real whiz with those knives of his. Don't miss his show. It's a real highlight of the carnival. Okay, see you around, clown. Catch you later like an alligator. No.
Oh, the evil carnival music.
Weren't you on the other side of the midway just now? Nope, that's the other balloon guy. We just dress alike and use the same face paint. Did we fool ya? He grins and gives you a big exaggerated wink. I see.
Well, that's creepy.
Well, they're clowns.
I'd like to
They're
see
supposed to be creepy.
I'd like to see the lost and found. Oh, sure thing. What'd you lose? Lucky bottle cap. Piece your luck. This one yours? Yep. Yep, that's the one. Thanks. No problem, sir. No problem, kid. And yeah, I'll give you my balloon for the bottle cap. Just get out of here. Steal his
whistle.
My bottle of smelling salts. Nope, that's a different one. Bottle of smelling salts. I lost my pocket knife.
Shame.
I lost my handkerchief as well. How much does it cost? Just 300 meat, or my slide whistle, if you happen to find it. I really miss my slide whistle. You know, I think I saw one in the Lost and Found box. What, really? Oh gosh, wait here just a minute. The clown runs over to the sausage stand and he quickly ducks around the counter and opens the front of the metal box. What you see inside is not what you expected. You see a fat, paper-white spider, size of a cantaloupe. It's lying on its back, feebly struggling against the straps that bind its leg to the floor of the box. Slowly, you pull the lever. A rod moves inside the box, pressing down the spider's abdomen. The spider emits a thin, squealing sound and squirts something that sure looks like spun sugar out of its anus, and up into the funnel on top of the box.
Oh.
Ew.
Gross.
Ew. Ew.
Don't like it.
Oh god, this is... Oh.
Your reflection in the mirror is short and squash-looking, folded up like an accordion. You spend a moment moving back and forth in front of the mirror, seeing how the image changes. It's kind of amusing. The mirror makes you look really stretched out and thin. Your limbs twist and writhe like snakes as you move around. It's a bit unsettling, and your muscles ache a little, sympathetically. Gah! This mirror somehow shows you what you look like in clown makeup. Bloodshot eyes stare back at you from a pasty white face painted with an odd pattern of red triangles. In the flickering lantern light, it almost looks like he winks at you. Ugh.
Woo. You're being weird.
Hello there, I'm Matthew. How's it going? Can you talk? Guess not. So, the circus gig. How do you like it? His hands slowly curl in a fist and his knuckles turn white with tension. I see. Understand, I mean. Do you blink? Or wink, I guess? I guess not. You move a little to the side and lean over the rope to get a closer look at the guy. He's basically just what he seems to be at first glance. Guy with a giant eyeball for a head. You do notice two things, though. First, he has an odd lump at the, well, what you would call the base of his skull, if he had one. Sort of crumpled fleshy mass the size of a fist. With a squint and some imagination, it almost looks like the crushed and shriveled vestigial remains of a human head. Second thing you notice is that his ankles are locked to the legs of his stool, and the legs of the stool are bolted to the floor. Okay, we'll see you around.
Hello
Hello there.
guy.
Hello there. Welcome to the Sideshow. My name is Douglas. Hi, I'm Matthew. Delighted to meet you. So, well, are you perhaps trying to think of a polite way to ask what's wrong with me? Yeah, you got me. Don't worry, Matthew. I am in a sideshow, after all. It is an obvious and natural question. Wait a minute. You said that last bit without moving your lips. You a ventriloquist? Not at all. Allow me to demonstrate. He stands up and turns around. His back is the same as his front. That is, his suit has been tailored with two front sides, and he has another face on the back of his head, with his hair cut and parted appropriately. Ta-da! As he sits back down, his knees and other joints crack and pop loudly as they reverse themselves. Douglas winces slightly, though certainly not as much as you'd expect. What in the... Surprising, yes? A bit, yeah. How's that even possible? Douglas shrugs and holds his pipe up to the now back of his head, so his other face can take a puff. Are you... what's the phrase? Siamese twins? Not exactly. Difficult to describe, I'm afraid. Two minds in one body, with two faces? It would be closer to the truth to say two instances of the same mind, with, as you say, two faces. You're right, that doesn't make any sense at all. The other face chuckles, and
You sneeze?
and Douglas holds his magazine behind his back. It took some getting used to, that much is quite certain. Were you born like this? I would rather not discuss how it came to be this way, if you don't mind. Okay, sorry. No apology necessary. Your knees must be a wreck. Surgery was necessary to permit them to bend in both directions. Sounds worse than it feels, I assure you. Why are you in a sideshow? With a regular student haircut, you could easily pass for normal. I have a contract. Out of the corner of your eye, you spot the clown making a gesture, but you didn't catch what it was. Douglas clears his throat. Plus, well, it's quite the life, you know. Free room and board, travel the world, and you meet such interesting people. Talk to you later, Douglas. Hello? Hello there. Enjoying the carnival? Well, it's interesting. Yes, I'm sure it is. Can I ask you something? Certainly. What's your name? I'm Janet. And you? I'm Matthew. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, Matthew. Why are you in a box? That's a rather personal question, isn't it? Oh, sorry. I'm only teasing, dear. Would you like to see inside? Sure. Janet whistles to signal the clown and he moseys over. He unlocks the door in the front of the box and throws it open with a theatrical flourish. Inside Janet's body, you see a tangled, complicated assortment of glass tubes and pipes, ticking clockwork gears, and pumps, liquids of various colors, mostly red. Sloshed through the tubes.
What the fuck?
A large bellows near the top inflates and begins to slowly deflate. What do you think? Some kind of trick, right? You're folded up behind a mirror in there or something. No trick? Clown chuckles and walks around the back of the box. He opens a hatch and waves at you through it, then saunters back to his place by the shelves. It's amazing! I've never seen anything like it! Well, I'll take that as a compliment. It's certainly educational, I imagine. Larger tank on the left is my stomach, if you'd like to see what I had for lunch today. You watch the various liquids slosh around in their tanks and pipes for a minute. Weird. Gross. But it is indeed educational. You got a perk. Anatomical learning. How'd this happen?
Got more attack damage. That's good.
How did this happen? Were you in some kind of terrible accident? I'm sorry, I can't talk about that. Of course, sorry, it must be a painful memory. Her calmly composed face creases into a very slight grimace as she shoots a sidelong glance at the clown. Yes. Well, it was nice to meet you, Janet. So long. Good luck, Matthew.
This place is a fucking horror show.
About these, people. You mean the freaks? Ain't they a scream? One with the giant eyeball head's my favorite. Nice quiet fella. Uh-huh. You have a question about the other two, feel free to ask him personally. I wouldn't want to be telling tales out of school. Since the eye guy can't talk, though, you can ask me about him if you want. Does he ever blink? You mean wink? Heh, nope, no eyelids. I gotta toss a bucket of water over him once in a while so's he don't get too dry. He does look a bit dry now that you mention it. Yeah, it's getting about that time. Excuse me for a minute. Sure. Now I can get a look at the eggs. Clown eggs. In the circus community, it is traditional for each clown to paint their chosen makeup pattern onto an eggshell. These clown eggs are archived for future reference to ensure that no one chooses a pattern that has already been used. It is considered extremely taboo to wear another clown's face. These must be the eggs for the clowns that work in this circus. You recognize a few of them, like the clown here in the Sideshow tent, and the ticket seller clown out front. Since the clown's distracted, you take the opportunity to get a closer look at the eggs. You notice two things about them. Firstly, they're too large to be chicken eggs. You have no idea what kind of eggs they are. Secondly, they've all been broken and then very meticulously glued back together. They almost look like they've been reassembled after something hatched out of them. You quickly step back as the guard clown returns. He gives you a fair amount of side-eye, but doesn't say anything. I gotta get another look. You look in the mirror again, and the clown you is still there, staring. Very slowly his mouth opens into a wide grin, revealing multiple rows of yellow, pointed, shark-like teeth. Not wanting to keep looking, but unwilling to turn your back on it, you slowly sidle away until it's no longer visible. It's empty.
Don't tell me that thing's not running around.
Well, that was nice and fun. I think I'm gonna go wash my face off and hopefully forget this all happened.
Thirdly, one of the eggs features a pattern of red triangles that you recognize. It's the same as the clown version of yourself that you saw in that mirror earlier.
Oh, why is that there now?
Son? Is that your son?
Ticket, please.
Oh, you gotta win.
I gotta win one of the games, yeah. Alright, let me see if I can, eat something to up my moxie.
What's your XP, by the way?
46.
Oh.
Potted meat could work. I could eat some of the goblin sandwich for my,
You'll also fuck up your muscles and instigality for a bit, for the day.
Well, I use moxie anyways. That don't really matter much. I'll go with the potted meat for right now, because that at the very least ups, like, moxie, mysticality, and the frickin' thing.
The massive all-around boost.
Yeah. Drink some of this cheap stuff.
Wined and dined.
And then we got stuff for our spleen. Sarsaparilla. Saspa, whatever.
Sarsaparilla.
You know what's so different when you use a controller than when you use mouse and keyboard? I'll say this right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, I'll give it a shot. Shoot like a jaguar!
Oh, you won.
And guess what? I'm gonna do it again! Large cat plush.
That's something you're after, right?
Yep.
For your build?
For my build. +4 moxie and +4 pistol attack damage. Ticket, please. Ticket for what? Barnaby Bob's Stunt Spectacular. What's that? The boss does a show. Yes? Yeah. What kind of show? Knife tricks, mostly. Here's my ticket. Okay. Go on in. Show will start soon. You take a seat, and a smattering of other patrons appear and sit down as well. After a minute, there's a crash of cymbals, and a clown runs in from the backstage curtain and jumps onto the stage. In contrast to the other clown's colorful clothing, his is relatively simple. black wool trousers, and a bright crimson shirt under a pale tan leather jacket, with fringe on the sleeves, and a red heart painted on the shoulder. His face paint is plain white without any colored accents, contrasting his curled black mustache and thin goatee. A snappy silk top hat with a rakish tilt tops off his outfit. He doffs his hat and bows with a deep, theatrical flourish, and the small audience claps politely. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and welcome one and all to Barnaby Bob's Perfectly Normal Traveling Circus Sideshow! I hope you've been enjoying the attractions and distractions of our little traveling carnival, and now it's time for our star performance, the main attraction! Ladies and gents, put your hands together for... A loud drum roll starts as he gestures to the curtain, and then the cymbals crash again. The clown puts his hat back on with a chuckle. Me! Barnaby Bob! Much obliged, you're far too kind. Why, I haven't even shown you anything yet! With a laugh, he flips a large Bowie knife into the air. You didn't even see where he pulled it from. The knife glitters as it spins. He catches it, flips it in the air again, this time catching and bouncing it on its point, on the tip of one finger. He holds that pose very still for a moment, then jerks his hand out of the way. The knife thunks into the wood of the stage floor, deep enough that he has to give it a jerk from side to side before he can yank the blade free. He winks broadly to the audience. Wouldn't be any fun if they weren't sharp, would it, ladies and gents? He pulls 2 more knives from his jacket and begins a flashy and elaborate knife juggling act. 3 spinning blades somehow turn to 4, and then his hat is added into the mix, flowing lightly through the cascade of knives without a single scratch. He finishes the routine by catching 2 of the knives in each hand and allowing his hat to fall nearly to the ground, before catching it on the tip of his boot and kicking it back into the air and onto the top of his head. Ah, now there's some applause I believe I've earned. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, took a lot of hats to get to where I am today. He chuckles as he adjusts his hat back to its original rakish tilt. Now for the grand finale. For this, I'll need a volunteer from the audience. A few hands go up. Barnaby Bob ignores them and looks directly at you. How about you, sir? Okay. Good. I like a brave one. Step right up onto the stage here. Your name, please? Matthew Rami. It's a real pleasure to finally meet you, Matthew Sneaky Rami.
The hell?
I didn't tell you my middle name. A couple of clowns haul a large wooden panel on a 7 feet tall and 4 wide up onto the stage. They stand up vertically behind you and stay there, holding it steady. It has 2 holes in it slightly above waist level, and a lot of knife marks. Press your back flat up against the wood, please, and put your hands through the holes. You do so. The holes are just
You're about to die.
The holes are just a fraction too high, so it's not very comfortable. And then one of the clowns pulls your arms back tighter and ties them together with rough hemp, so it becomes much more uncomfortable, for a variety of reasons. Don't worry, this is just to make sure you don't make any sudden and unexpected movements. We wouldn't want that, would we? Fret not, son, everything's under control. He steps up close to you and adjusts your collar, brushes a little dust off your shoulders. My control. You know, Matthew, we get a sharp customer through here from time to time, but my, you're the sharpest I've seen yet. However, I'd bet a shiny silver dollar I got something up my sleeve that's even sharper. His pupils narrow to vertical slits as he grins at you, revealing rows of pointed yellow shark teeth. As he turns away, you can see that the heart on his shoulder of his leather jacket is drawn with an arrow through it, and the word Mom. It doesn't look painted on. You struggle a little, but your arms are too tightly bound. The rough hemp rope digs into your wrists. Barnaby Bob strolls to the other end of the stage and turns to face you. Now, don't you worry. This will all be over soon. Just don't move. He has a knife in his hand again. He gives it a few twirls and flips. Light reflected from the blade glitters in his eyes. Then, without warning, he hurls it at you. Thunk! The knife hits the wood before you can even blink, a hair's breadth from your left ear.
Tear him down.
Tear him down.
Barnaby Bob grins at you as the crowd applauds. Another knife appears in one hand, and an apple in the other. He tosses the apple to one of the stagehands, who carefully balances it on top of your head. Time for the old William Tell routine. Bit of a cliche, perhaps, but there's a reason it's a classic, eh, ladies and gentlemen? The crowd watches with rapt attention as he flourishes the knife, spinning and flipping it behind his back. Then faster than you can register, thwack! Cold apple juice dribbles into your hair and down the back of your neck. 2 for 2! What do you say, Matthew? Shall we go for one more? Barnaby Bob pulls out another knife and gives it a quick stropping against the pale leather sleeve of his jacket, then whips a colorful spotted handkerchief from his pocket and blindfolds himself. This time his smile is much colder. I advise you to watch closely, Matthew Rami, since you're the only one of us who can! The crowd laughs, but you don't really hear it. The knife spins in his hand. This time, either because of adrenaline or because he's actually moving slower, you can see the motion of his arm as he throws it. He twists his wrist in an odd way that you don't think he did before. The knife is flying at you. The knife is flying directly at your right eye. Don't move. The knife incredibly swerves at the last possible moment. Thunk! You can feel the wood shake from the force as it stabs into the board. The metal is cold against your right cheek. The audience erupts into cheers as Barnaby Bob removes his blindfold and pumps a fist triumphantly. One of the stagehand clowns unties your wrists and helps you get your arms out of the holes. Bob takes your hand and raises it into the air victoriously. Well now, ain't he a good sport, folks? And as brave a target as I ever had! Take a bow, Matthew Rami! You bow to the cheering crowd, carefully keeping your eyes on Barnaby Bob. He bows as well, removing his hat with an elaborate flourish, and then he takes a slip of paper out of it. And as a token of appreciation, I'd like to give our stall volunteer a gift. A year's supply of dynamite! Use it in good health.
Oh, damn.
As he hands you the coupon, the clown leans in close to your ear and whispers, "This was the only warning you'll get, boy." Barnaby Bob waves and blows kisses to the crowd as you climb down from the stage. And then he disappears through the backstage curtain. The audience gradually disperses. Phew!
Why don't you get the dynamite now that you're supposed to get for free? Because you don't need it.
Well, I can't really tell you right now.
Right time?
We've hit our time. So with that
Thank you so much for watching, everyone.
Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this and you want to see more, leave a like, share this with your friends, leave a comment, make sure to subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss another one of these fun little videos. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all next time when we see what the hell is behind this hole.
Bye!
Oh,